take you back to a time when love was as precious as diamonds. Where if you search you.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Osereme. If today is your first time seeing me, thank you for being here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to go about the sewing of this beautiful blouse that I'm putting on right now, inspired by Stitches by IC. In my last tutorial, I shared with you guys how to go about the cutting. So let's go ahead and start sewing this.
I ain't messing around. Let's fall in love.
So guys, these are all the patterns we drafted together in my last video. If you're still here to see it, I'm going to be linking it down in the description box so that you guys can go ahead and watch the pattern drafting tutorial. So I have gone ahead to cut out lining pieces for all the pieces that I cut out here, both the front, the back, and also the yoke pieces as well. So once that is done, now I am going to go ahead and remove my patterns, and I'm going to start working on the front pieces first. So I'm going to open everything up. I'm going to turn the wrong side to face me. And what I'm going to do is to iron hairstay to the wrong side of the front pieces. If you have enough hairstay, you can also iron to the lining of the front pieces. This will help give your blouse enough strength, especially if you're using a fabric that is not very strong. So after I was done ironing it to the wrong side of the front pieces, this is what I had. I did iron to the lining like I said before. So this is what it is looking like. So the next thing we're going to do now is to cut out wording to pad the bustier area of this blouse. This is my wording piece here. I'm using one that is not too strong and at the same time it's not very soft. Some people call it padded if that's what you know it as. So I'm going to be starting with the center front piece and placing it on the wording, and you can see I make sure that the wording is stopping where the curves ended on my bustier. So I'm going ahead to just pin it down like this, and I'm going to cut all the way around. Make sure that your wording is stopping where the curve stopped. So that way you're just going to be padding the bust area. So after cutting this out, I went ahead to cut out an extra ½ inch away from the top of this wording. That way it will be easy for us to stitch our lining and our yoke with this blouse. Now for the remaining two sides that are left, I'm going to fold my wording into two, and I'm going to be placing the curved part of my bustier, that's the side front, like this, and make sure that your wording is also stopping on where the curve for the bustier started, and then go ahead and pin it down just like you see me doing like this. And after which you're going to go ahead and also trace it out like I've done here. Once you're done tracing it out, you're going to go ahead and just make a curve inside the bustier area. That way it's not looking very weird when you put it on, so that it has that cup effect. There is nothing special to it. There's no special measurement. Just use your discretion to give it a curve. So once I was done, this is what I have for the two sides of the front, the two side front bustier, and I'm just going ahead to pin the wording to the side front pieces. Now we're going to bring in the center front piece, and we're going to be placing the side front on it, right sides facing each other like this. You're going to align it from the top, make sure it's well aligned, and you're going to start pinning it down around the curved area and then take it all the way to the end.
I won't let us fade away, even when
So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and make a stitch around this curve. You can see it's already having that bustier effect by just pinning it down. I'll do the same thing for this other side as well. I'm going to also pin it down and then stitch it down on the sewing machine. Following the curve, I'm going to be stitching it with ½ inch stitching allowance. So guys, this is what I had after I was done stitching it down. You can see what the inside and the front is looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and make notches around the curved area of the bustier, and I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. And I'm going to go over and iron this out. I'm going to iron all the seams open, and for the bustier area, I'm going to be using my tailor's ham to also iron the seam open for the bustier area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right now and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, after ironing out the front piece, you can see the cup area looking very nice, and this is what the inside is looking like. You can see I've ironed all my seams open, and now I'm going ahead to cut off the excess I had on the wording that was showing in front. So now this is what it's looking like. I also went ahead to stitch down the front lining pieces as well. This is what I have. So now the next thing I'm going to work on is on the front yoke. So I'll go ahead and remove all my pins from the yoke, and I'm going to turn the right sides to face me. I already marked the wrong side, and I'm also going to place the lining on it, right sides facing each other, and I'm going to go ahead and pin around the neckline and around the stylish V shape that we have on the yoke.
Know that I'll be here to stay. Let's fall in love.
So now I'm going to go ahead and stitch around this area and around the neckline. After making my stitch, this is what I have. You can see what it's looking like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make notches all the way around the neckline and also around the stylish area of the yoke here. So now once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to the right side through the armhole. After turning it over, I'll just head over and iron it out as well. So guys, after ironing it out, this is what I have. So we are going to be attaching it now to the body of the blouse. So I'm arranging it to be sure that it's exactly the same thing on both sides. Now that I'm sure I like what I have here, I've aligned it properly. I'm going to turn the yoke like this, and I'm going to pin it in place so that it stays exactly where I want it to be on the bustier. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it down here. I had a little bit of excess on the armhole area still. You can still see it here, but that is not much of a serious problem. It's going to go into the allowance part, okay? So I'm going ahead to pin down the other side as well, and this is what it's looking like. You want to make sure that you check everything, make sure it's staying perfectly, and once you're satisfied with what you have, you're now going to go ahead and use your lining to cover up everything, just like I'm doing like this, and then go ahead and pin all the way around the neckline. So I'll go over now and make a stitch here. After I was done making that stitch, I went ahead to also top stitch towards the lining and iron it out. This is what it is looking like right now. So I'll be leaving the front aside. Let's go ahead and work on the back and the back yoke. So we'll work on the yoke first. So I'm going to remove the pattern, and I'm going to be joining the actual fabric with the lining, right sides facing each other. So I'm going ahead to pin around the neckline and also around the curved area of the back yoke. So I'll make a stitch around the neck, this area here, and around this curve. The neck, this area, and the curve. So guys, after I was done, I turned it over to the right side and ironed it out, and this is what it's looking like. So now for the back, I had to make sure to put an arrow to show me exactly which side is going towards the down of these back patterns, because the back looks very similar on both ends. Okay, so now that I'm sure of the upper part, I'm going to be placing my yoke on it. So I'll be placing my yoke like this, but I'll measure 1.5 inch away from the side because we have 1.5 inch stitching allowance on the bodies. So I have measured the 1.5 inch away from the side, and I placed my yoke from that point. So I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. I'm also going to measure 1.5 inch before I place my yoke. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this up with my lining, just like you see me doing like this, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you're placing the right lining on the right bodies, and I'm going to go ahead and pin all the way around the top of the neckline, like you see me doing like this. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well, and then head over to the sewing machine and make a top stitch here. I'll make a stitch here and top stitch towards the lining. So guys, after I was done stitching it down, this is what I have. You can see how nicely the yoke area is looking. So now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to work on the front. We are going to be covering out the front, so let's leave these back pieces aside for now. Now let's work on the front. So you're going to fold the front together into two, like I'm doing like this at the end. If you notice the blouse we are trying to recreate, you will notice that the front is not straight, it's kind of curved. So from the side, I decided to go up by about 3 inches, 3 inches here, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it to meet the middle fold like this. It's nothing serious, just go up by 3 inches on the side and then curve it to the middle. After that, I went ahead to cut it out, and that gave me a curved shape at the end of the front. Can you see what I have here? So now that I've removed 3 inches from the side of the front, I have to remove the 3 inches from the back as well. So I'm marking 3 inches all the way around the back. Just remove it from the whole back. I'm going to mark this 3 inches, and I'm going to cut it away from the back. So guys, once you're through cutting it out, we can now go ahead and finish up the back pieces, the lining. So I'll turn everything over and I'm going to sandwich the yoke into the bodice, and I'm going to align the ends of the back pieces and pin it down just like you see me doing like this. And I'm also going to go ahead and pin down the both sides as well. But for the other side, I am going to leave about 3 inches of space that I'm not going to be stitching down, so that I'll be able to turn everything over through that space and iron it out. So I'll do the same thing for the other piece as well. And now for the front, I'm also going to be doing the same thing. I'll align the ends of both the lining and the actual fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it all the way down. So I'll stitch on the ends as well. I'm going to stitch down this area, and then I'll align the both sides and I'll stitch it down, and I'll turn everything over through the armhole. So after I was done stitching down the front, this is what I had. I turned it over through the opening of the armhole. And for the back pieces, I had to leave a little bit of space around here to turn it over, and I ironed it out. Another thing I went ahead to do on the back pieces was to stitch down my dart for the back. So I did it for the both back pieces as well. And you can see how nicely our yoke is looking so far. So now I'm going to be joining the front and the back pieces on the armhole. I'm using one of the lining pieces to cover every other thing, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. This is how I normally go about my shoulder areas. You guys, if you follow me already on this channel, another way you can go about it is to place lining and lining together, fabric and fabric together, and just make a straight stitch. Whichever way is easier for you, just go ahead and use it, and then go ahead and stitch down the shoulder here, and I'll do the same thing on this other side as well and stitch it down. So guys, I'm done joining this on the shoulders, and this is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess I have on my front armhole on both sides, just very little, so you can see how nicely the shoulders are looking. So another thing I went ahead to do was to fix my zipper to the back. Now the next thing we need to do here is to work on the sleeves. So for the sleeve, I cut out a basic long sleeve. I already have a video on the channel on how to go about that. I'll be linking it in the description box. So 23 inches is my normal long sleeve length, but I added an extra 4 inches from where 23 stopped because of the stylish flare we have on this sleeve. So now from my normal long sleeve length, I went up by 1 inch, and I'm going to draw this across. So this new line I draw across is going to now be the new length where my flare is going to start from. And then I just drew another straight line across from this new line to kind of serve as like the middle of this sleeve. So I cut through this line, and I'm going to cut to the side a little bit. I will not cut it entirely out, okay? And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just cut to the other side as well. Don't cut it off entirely, so that you'll be able to spread it out at this end. So now I'm going to place this on my fabric. My fabric is folded into 4 because I want to be able to cut the two pieces, the two sleeves together. So now I'll spread out the ends of this area that I opened up like this. Just spread it out. So that's going to give you like a flare at the end of your sleeve. So this way you don't have to cut out a special flare for the sleeve. So I'm going ahead to spread it out just like you see me doing like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pin it down and then pin the rest of the body of the sleeve. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark around the end of this opening. I'm just taking it about half an inch away from the pattern papers. Just cover it together like this. And then on the side, on the center of the sleeve, I'm going to go in by half an inch and half an inch on the other side as well. So basically, I'm just going to cut all the way around this sleeve with half of an inch stitching allowance. So once you're done doing this, this is what we are going to have. I will make a different video entirely on this sleeve, so that for people who are looking for this tutorial, they'll be able to easily get it. So now I'm going to pick 2 pieces, the first 2 pieces, and the other 2 pieces will be for the other sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and join this on the center, and I'll do the same thing for this other one. So guys, after I was done, this is what I have, and you can see how the tiny flare effect is at this end. So now we're going to join this sleeve with the bodies, and I'm just going to be placing the area where we have our joining on the sleeve with the area where we had our joining on the shoulders together, because that's the center point of both of them. And I'm going to just go ahead and pin the sleeve all the way around the armhole like this. And I will do the same thing on the other side as well. Just pin the sleeve all the way around the armhole. So I'll go over to the sewing machine now, and I'm going to make a stitch to secure this in place and do the same thing for the other side. So my loves, after I was done joining my sleeve, this is what I have, and this is what the other part is looking like as well. So lastly, we're going to go ahead and turn this blouse over to the wrong side, and I'm going to align the sides. I'm going to align it from the sleeve all the way through to the body, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. So I'll pin this side down, and I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. And I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and join the sides. This is very easy, and this is like the last part of the making of this blouse. So just go ahead and pin it in place, and I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and make a stitch from here all the way through the body, making sure to use my body measurement for this stitch. I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. And after I was done, this is what my blouse is looking like, and you can see what the back is looking like as well. So now the last thing is for the yoke area of the back. To secure it in place, I am going to be using this hook and eye. I'm just going to be using my needle and thread to just stitch this to both sides of this place, so that when I put this on, I'll be able to use the hook and eye to just secure it at the top. So yeah, that's all for the making of this blouse. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.